Hi, and welcome to Integrative Wisdom's today's office view. I'm Verna Fisher, and it is the start of a new week, the last week of this month, which means that we're getting ready to enter into a whole new month, but to say goodbye to a month that we're never going to get back, right? So, I had already thought about talking about showing up and being present to the work that you do in the world, knowing that you can never go back and reclaim a day. That day is gone. You can learn from the day and you can move forward from it, but you can't go back and redo it, right? Except in Groundhog Day. Seem to be able to do that day many, many times. But unless we do that in our dreaming, we won't be able to do it. So I was already thinking about today to really explore with you the idea that, we don't have the luxury of letting a day go by if we can help it. I mean, some days, we are kind of probably in a funk. Some days things happen and we just can't really move or motivate ourselves to, reach a milestone or a goal or something of that nature. And it's just kind of one of those, let me get through it kind of days. And every now and then, one of those days is fine, probably, in the grand scheme of life. But over the long term, I think that allowing that to happen means that our life goes by without us really being present to it. So last night, I happened to see a post on social media that that hit me deeply. One of my benefactors, one of my mentors in a way, I found out that he has cancer and that it is it's stage 4 and it's metastasized. I found out that he is going to go on a clinical trial. I guess that's what they call it. It's a medicine that's pretty new and they've had some good success with it. But it really touched me because I actually speak of this man in the book that I put together, the guidebook to the cards, and thanked him for his belief in me way back when. His name is Father Peter, and he was the pastor of the church where I was attending. I wanted to start a women's center and offer women a place to go beyond a Bible study, and that would touch upon our lives a little bit more deeply, allow us to learn more about integrative medicine. I actually had put together, and I think I mentioned this in another video, I put together a workshop called Spirituality and Healing in the 21st Century to really start to bring into our churches some of the techniques and tools that had started becoming more mainstream. I think I've probably also shared that it was not a good time in the church and it didn't quite work out eventually the way that I hoped it would. But Father Peter, he believed in me. He helped me and he helped the women get this center going. And it lasted for several years. Kind of sort of my fault, maybe in a way. I ended up finding my place out here in Escondido and moving, an hour and 40 minutes away. And I carried on for about a year, but then realized that I needed to kind of reestablish myself out this way. And so we disbanded the women's group. I took risks back then. Um, like I've shared, I'm not an out there kind of person. I am a shy person. Well, I was a shy person. Now I'm saying I'm not shy anymore. Still definitely um, an introvert. Um, but I took a risk. And a part of what was happening then was the I was being bombarded by messages, by dreams and visions and nudges and pushes, and letting me know that I needed to do things a little bit differently than things had been done, and that was where I ended up starting my private practice way back in like the year 2001 or something like that. But the women's group was a big part of that, and Father Peter was a big part of that. So, I'm offering up my prayers for him and my gratitude for him, um, for being there and being such an amazing gift in my life. And he's in my dedication to my book. So, how does that impact on our office view today? Given this is the last Monday of the month in July, it fit right in with, you know, show up to your life, show up fully. Um, don't let those little voices in the back of your head go unheard. Don't let fear stop you from exploring things that you might be getting, that gut um, push. You might be having dreams. You might be having synchronicities. There might be so many things happening, and yet you can come up, your logical mind can come up with lots and lots of ways of saying, I don't think so. Stop. Don't do that. It's dangerous. It's not clear. The path is not clear. You don't know what you're doing. And on and on and on. So we're listening, right? Listen today. Listen today, and maybe it's not going out on your own. It doesn't have to be these big things, but it can be the day to day to day, the way that you show up when you enter into your office space. And that office space, by the way, this is my office. I'm out at the center, but this is the other side of the center. It's my private office, and it gets to be a mess. There's so much good stuff in here. I love it. But wherever your workspace is, when you enter into that role, give it your attention. And if things need to be addressed, then don't let time go by without speaking, without attempting to share. Now, there are some caveats to that, in the sense of you don't know what the outcome will be just because you choose to speak. And the way that you speak and how you approach someone must be of the utmost respect, must be with an understanding that things may not change. What's important is that you are listening to those nudges, you are listening to that deeper part of who you are, to figure out how to offer this information. And it may take a while. I actually am bringing back my Father Peter story again. I had approached him the first time with my my presentation, my offer, whatever you call that, my idea. And he had said no. He said no. And because this had been like a dream in my head, a nudging from the divine, I was like, whoa, how can he say no? This was divinely inspired. It was meant to be, right? Well, it shook my confidence. And I went home and I was not quite devastated, but I was confused. Maybe that's the best word to say. I thought it was a no brainer. I thought, you know, God and I had an arrangement and he was going to be a part of that. Well, so I had to go back home and kind of wallow in it for a little bit. I wallowed. And then I got my courage back up and I said, you don't give up on the first try. And I went back. And the rest is history. I don't know why he chose to say yes. I don't know if he had gotten any nudges to say that this was something that would be good for the congregation. I don't know. We and I never really talked about it. We just went forward from there. So wherever you find yourself, if you are working from home, if there are working conditions that you think, not you think, because there's a difference between my ego thinking and my soul reaching out and saying, hey, you know, we need to do something here. Pay attention. This is the time. This is the end of July. It's the end of another month. We're going to be entering into August. So clear the decks. Take time this week to do that. Okay? Take time to do that. It may not be easy. And like I said, nothing may come of it other than you speaking out, other than you letting that deepest, truest, most complete part of yourself know that you're paying attention, that you're not ignoring, you know, your soul. You're not ignoring it. You're not saying, "What, did you like that?" Not, sorry, I can see myself and it's very distracting. That's me. So that's it for today's office view. Take a look, see what needs to be brought out, and if it's your place to do it. And if you have any questions or concerns, you know, you can always reach out to me, like I've said, and run an idea by me. I may or may not have a bit of wisdom, may or may not, who knows. But anyway, here's to the last Monday of July 2020. Take care. See you here tomorrow.